Hey everyone, Boylon here, and today is going to be the day of my inaugural tier list. Now, because this is the first one that I'll be doing, this is going to be completely from scratch, and we're going to go through it together as I place the characters in their respective position. You might also wonder, who am I to rank characters or tell others where I believe they should be placed? And that's a great question. Well, I started in May 2018, and according to my achievements, I've played for 819 days at the time of this video. Now, I don't think I've missed a single daily login, although I would give this a few days leeway since I can't verify this claim. I'm also the leader of my alliance, Spider Taint. Yeah, I know, I didn't come up with the name actually, we just kept rolling with it. Currently, we're halfway through Gold 3 and Alliance War, and I spend a fair bit of time helping everyone out when need be in roster-related things. I wouldn't say I'm the most qualified person in the world, but I feel that I have played competently enough these past 2 and a bit years to be able to judge a bit of the game's content. I'm also typically floating within the top 5 of my arena shard daily, and I've even dipped my foot into my feet into top 2,000 blitzes on occasion, and sitting at just about 7.5 million TCP at the moment. I just wanted to give people a bit of a background about me as a player for those obvious comments like, why should we listen to you over X content creator? So, but without further ado, let's head on over to the site where I'm going to make this list, Tier Maker, because I'm terrible at making infographics and design to make my own. So let's get started. And here we are over on Tier Maker's website. Here, I'll leave a link in the description below so where people can look at this if they're interested. I did make sort of my own categories here. So at the top we have the S, and these are the must-haves. These are the characters that are beyond great. These are the top 10 or, you know, definitely top 10 in the game. I don't know if there's going to be 10 necessarily. A is going to be great investment characters. These are characters that, you know, if you were to level these up and gear them up, that, you know, nobody would have a problem with this. B is going to be the good investment. Now, these are characters that, you know, are worth using. They're, you know, they probably have good synergy and good, you know, they're good characters all around, but not as good as the A and the S. Now the C, this is where I said okay / better with synergy. So these are the characters probably going to be like the defenders, for example, who, you know, they're good, but they definitely need to be sort of in that team to make them better. Now the D list is the not very good, and we'll see as we go through it who I end up putting through there. These are sort of, I would say, the sort of the bottom of the list, largely, because E is going to be classed for mostly minions, as I put it here, and those sort of other bad characters. Except for a handful of minions that are actually useful, which will actually not be in this list here. And the trash tier is like the Nebula, and if anyone's seen my free-to-play video, I did have a trash tier at the bottom for that as well. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to go through all of the characters individually and place them, and I'm basically going to kind of go over and do some commentary as to why I believe they should be in there. So let's get started here. And so this is AIM Infector, and he's going to be in the mostly minions. So the ones who sort of don't, you know, I'm actually not going to put some of the AIM characters I'm going to put in the D. So these are the AIM Assaulter, AIM Monstrosity, and AIM Security. So these are the three, I think that's Security. These are the three that normally you would typically run in the AIM team. The reason why they're not there, and I'm kind of going to put AIM Researcher in here in the E category. I think these three, unless you have like 7 red stars, I think these are the three that you should be using in an AIM team. And you can see that in my AIM video that I made previously as well, where I made the same comment. Now, America Chavez, I think she's going to go in the C for me. I think that she could be better, and maybe this will get changed up once the Young Avengers are a full fivesome, but I think at the moment I don't know if she really brings as much as a solo character to the table. And I do want to say that a lot of these will, they'll try to take into account as much as they can, including their synergies, including their standalone value, and all of that as well. So Ant-Man, yeah, he's definitely in the D category, not very good. Mordo, I actually think he's fairly good, so he's going to be in the B category. He has great control powers. He doubles as a villain, triples really, villain, cosmic mystic. He can be used quite in a lot of places. The supernatural team in general is pretty good as well. Beast, honestly, I've struggled with this because I personally don't use him, and I don't know if you really need to bring him up, to be frank. So for now, he's going to be in the C. Some people might hate me for this, but I think he's sort of at the lower end for me personally. I would struggle between the C and the B, but because I don't really use him right now, and I don't think you need to invest in him, he's going to be in C. But I think that when he becomes farmable, this might change at least to the B category, and you know, I don't have those little cool infographics where I could put, you know, +1 for synergy and things like that, because I don't have that, and I don't believe it's available on this website. So I would put him, you know, C as a standalone character, B, you know, if you're using him with X-Men, that kind of thing there. Now Black Panther, he's definitely hitting the C. Black Widow, kind of also hitting the C. You know, some of these characters might change if they're going to be, you know, if they get reworked or whatever. Blob, I actually really like the Blob. I think he's I love him, but unfortunately, without Toad, you know, he can't taunt, and he does struggle a little bit in order to get going. So for that reason, he's C. Okay, but, you know, he's better with synergy. So Bullseye, unfortunately, as a standalone character, he's not very good. So he's hitting that D, but of course we know that the Merc team, Merc Taskmaster team, is actually pretty good. Cable, I think he might be a C. Yeah, I mean, he's better than these characters down here, I think. Cap, also a C. He had his time to shine, but now he's being kicked off. Now, Captain Marvel normally would be an S tier character, but she's going to be my first one in the A category. I think she's dropped off the wagon a little bit. Still a great standalone character, but I wouldn't say she is a must build at this time. Carnage, also hitting the A list. Great character, great synergies with the symbiotes, and yeah, he's a great standalone character. Colossus also hitting the A category. Great tank for the X-Men largely, but he is still a really good character used in Dark Dimension 3 Global and such like that. So the Black Order characters, all of them are largely hitting the A category. Now Coulson, I think probably a B category for me. I think he's still worth, you know, if you unlock him and you're a newer to mid-game player, I think he's still worth gearing up. He does have some standalone value because he actually is a pretty decent character in general. His ultimate does a lot of damage. It just doesn't do all the things that he does on War Defense. Crossbones, now this is the 4.2 patch, just to let everyone know. So Crossbones, I think, is going to change from 4.3, but at the moment he is going to be in D. I think he's probably going to get bumped up maybe to C next patch, but for the moment he is going to stay there. Crystal, I think, is probably a B character. Now, Cull Obsidian, I think he's my first S tier character. There's going to be a couple others, but I think Cull Obsidian is a great character. I actually think he's a better tank than Colossus standalone. He does crazy amounts of damage. 2-turn taunt, so unfortunately, Colossus does need more needs Phoenix. He needs to be in the presence of Phoenix in order to get that 2-turn taunt. So for that reason alone, I think Cull Obsidian is in the S category. He is probably one of the best tanks in the game at the moment. Cyclops, he is going to be a B, I think, for me. Like, you don't need to level him. He is really great. He's strong. He really makes that X-Men team a lot stronger. I use him in my X-Men team, but I wouldn't say he is anyone in the A and the S categories are sort of like, basically, you should probably gear them up. Bs are, you know, good if you need them for whatever reason. I think they're worth doing. Anyone C and below, you would probably need to justify as to why you're building them up at this point, especially if you're newer to mid-game player and you're not a late-game player like myself who has a lot of these already built up. So Daredevil hitting C. Phoenix, now also in the S tier category. And she isn't really used much in raids, but in every other game mode you'll see her. People are still using her in Arena, obviously Blitz. Dark Dimension 3 for sure. Raid are really in Alliance War for sure. Really the only places you don't see her much is in raids, but other than that, she is a great character, worth investing, of course, hands down. Deadpool, gonna be in this. I'm not super impressed with X-Force, and because they're a war offense team, I'm gonna have to put them in the C category largely. So let's lump them together here with Cable. Doctor Strange, I actually I have mixed opinions about him, but I actually think he might be a B category character. I think I might get some flack for this, but I do think that he actually is a good he's a decent standalone character, and he does double as cosmic and mystic characters, good for campaigns, so a great character if you can unlock him for the mid-game range, and if you're leveling up the supernatural character, he is quite important to that. Now Drax, again, I might also get a little bit of flack for this, but he's going to hit the B category. The reason why is I think he's a great copy and paste sort of drop and drag character for a tank. You know, he has that spawn taunt. I think that gives him tremendous value for that reason alone, and that puts him ahead of the pack from the C tier list. And I think that he is, even for people starting out now, I think Drax is a tank worth bringing up to at least to a degree. Because I think he has that good drag and drop potential that you can plop him in as a tank for other teams that need stand-in tanks. I think he is a good character, and we'll sort of have that position for a while, I think. Elektra is probably going to hit the E tier, actually, because she's pretty she's pretty bad, I think, just not in the trash tier category. Also, Bloodstone is going to hit in the C category, though, and I don't think I have any other ones listed. I sure want to group them up as with their team, if possible. Falcon, he's going to go in the B tier. I kind of debated about him going into the A, but I think that he's dropped off a little bit. People aren't using him as frequently as they used to, but he has a solid character with a solid kit, especially a special, very useful to increase that turn bar. Really good character. Gamora is going to hit in that C category, I think, as well. So I don't know if I have any other Guardians listed here, but just I'll drop her here. Ghost Rider is going to be in that A category. A solid standalone character. He is largely the de facto supernatural leader because his passive gives increased hit points to everyone else. Has a really solid kit. Bleeds, a lot, drain, you know, lots of bleed. Really good character, good stats. Mystic as well. Graviton, I think he is going to be in the A category as well. He really makes that AIM team thrive. He does a lot of damage. He disrupts. He stuns. He does a lot of all that good stuff. Slows. Does tons of debuffs. Solid character, I think. Groot, he's going to be in that B category. I don't think he is as... maybe at one point he might have been in the A tier category, but he's sort of dropped off as well. The Guardians in general, I think, have dropped off a bit, so Groot is going to land here next to Drax. Now, Hand Assassin... mostly minions, so we're going to put her here. Hand characters all really largely going here. With the exception of Hand Sentry, I'm actually going to put him in the C category. I think that he is actually one of the better minions in the game still with a Smoke Bomb. Very useful still, I would say. Maybe not as useful as it was maybe a year ago, where like a lot of people were using them, but he is still probably one of the, hands down, one of the most useful hand members anyways. So that's why he is here. Hawkeye. He's going to be in the D. He's in the not-so-good characters, not-so-good category, so we can tell why. Hela, definitely in the S category, so another member for the S category. She is easily a top 5 character in the game, and, you know, later down the line, the reason why I'm making this tier list, just to let everyone know, is that I am going to be doing a top 10 characters of all time, at least for patch 4.2 as of currently, what I think about those characters. So largely, those are going to be drawn from people in the A and the S tier category, just as a heads up to that. Hela is awesome. She has Greg, Turn Rewind, she spreads buffs, she does a lot of damage, crazy, great in Alliance War, great in like every other game mode. So yeah, get Hela if you don't already have her. Hulk, landing in the D category. Human Torch, I think he's a good, you know, I'm actually going to put him in the B category. I think he is a good character. Even with some standalone value, his burst damage is quite high. I've seen people with 7 Red Star Human Torches, you know, use like a burst method previously in the past in Arena. So he is a pretty strong character there. Hydra characters, you know, they're just going to go in the E. I do think that they have some value with Red Skull, of course, but for the moment, you know, nobody's really using them much with outside of Red Skull. So Invisible Woman is getting that A tier category. Great support character. You know, she's used in quite a bit of game modes, so she is hitting A. Most of the legendaries, with the exception of a few, will be hitting in the A or the S tier here. So Iron Fist, we're getting here, and that's going to be in the C category with the other defenders, with Daredevil there. Ironheart is also in the C category. Newer character, but, you know, she does kind of require that power armor synergy. She doesn't really have a whole lot of standalone value, so that's why she's hitting C. Iron Man, also going to be in C. You know, legendary of the past, not so legendary anymore. Jessica Jones also hitting that C tier category. Juggernaut actually is going to hit the B category now. I quite like Juggernaut. He's a very strong character. Pretty high damage as well. At one point, you know, maybe he might have been in the A tier in previous patches, but now he's gonna sit solidly in the B. Karnak. I actually think I'm going to put Karnak in the C category. I don't know if Karnak has less value, in my opinion, than Crystal. I think Crystal is quite stronger, and her passive to heal the Inhumans, I think, makes her a little bit of a better choice than Karnak. I don't know if he necessarily brings a whole lot to the table that you need compared to what Crystal might give you. Killmonger. I think Killmonger actually deserves to be in the B. I kind of debated this. I think Killmonger's rating has sort of rocketed up a little bit since Taskmaster got released. A lot of people are using Killmonger in Merc Taskmaster teams instead of the Wakandans team. He does have a solid standalone kit as well. So he is being promoted, I guess. I probably would have put him in C prior to Taskmaster, but now he will get the B rank from me. Kingpin, he's going to be in the D category, I think, here. Pretty solid buffer, but I mean, that's really all he does. He's kind of another stand-in character that sort of, you know, when you're missing a 5th character, you're going to put Kingpin in there. Korath, I think he's going to be a D for me as well. I don't really use him all that frequently, so he is going to go there. A lot of the cream minions are all going to go here as well. I don't think there's any super standout cream minion. Loki, he is an A tier character in my opinion. He has a great kit. Now, he's one of those characters that I would call a kit character. So, you know, he does a lot of things well, but he doesn't need to be really high tier to do it, or really high gear and stars to do what he needs to do. Luke Cage, being in that C category there. Magneto going in the A category as well. Still a very solid character. With the release of Brotherhood 2.0, he deserves to be up here. And not as good as, you know, maybe at one point in time he might have been an S tier character, but he isn't anymore. Mantis also going to go in here with the C, with the other Guardians, wherever they are here. She's okay. You know, if you need her, you can level her, but, you know, I think there are better characters. And Baku, oof. I guess D is largely the lowest you can get, rather than being in the trash tier, since E is mostly minions, and maybe even Elektra should be up at D, but I don't really use her at all. All these mercs, yeah, they're all going into the minion category. With the exception of Merc Lieutenant, is going to go into C, and Merc Riot Guard is also going to go into C. I actually really like these two minions. I think they are some of the better minions outside of Hand Sentry, and they actually have a lot of purpose. Merc Lieutenant is really good with buffing, and Merc Riot Guard is another good sort of drag and drop tank. Now, if you're not using... Obviously, they have a home with Taskmaster, but if you're not using them there, then they have other uses as well. So don't slack on those. Minerva, she's going into the A tier category. Don't think she's an S tier character. She is another one of those kit characters like Loki, so you don't really need to have her. You know, her gear ranking doesn't need to be really high, but of course, you know, because of Dark Dimension and all that, I would recommend getting her to gear 13, 14. She doesn't need to be high star, is what I meant to say. Great character though. Mr. Fantastic, I think he's going to be in the C category. Do I have any other Fantastic Four here yet? No, so we're going to put them down there. Sinister, he's definitely an A tier character. I don't think he's an S for me personally. I think he is a very strong character. Again, a very solid kit character. He doesn't need to be having high red stars to do his job well, but the higher red stars that he has is reflected on his clone. So definitely someone I would put in a candidate for like a 5 or 6 red star. If you have the star levels for him. Great character all around. And I see a lot of he's very future-proofed because he can clone any other character that he does. I think he'll serve a purpose for a while. Miss Marvel, at this point, she's going to be a C for me. Just like kind of the other hero brawlers, / Young Avengers is going to be in the C category for me too. Mysterio, he's kind of in the D. In terms of Sinister Six, I think he is on the lower end of them. So yeah, he's going to go there. Mystique. I'm gonna put her in the C. I think she's been slightly elevated because of Emma Frost coming out, and the Marauder is gonna be seeing a little bit more of a boost. Her kit's not terrible, but I don't think she is amazing. She doesn't deserve to be B, A, or S, but she's okay. Yeah, she's worth gearing up. Namor, again, I think is going to be in the C category because of his reliance on Alliance War offense. Now I'm gonna put him next to Mr. Fantastic here. Great character, you know, great in Alliance War, but outside of that, not really. Nebula, trash tier, my first trash tier character. And Nick Fury. Now, he's going to be in the B category, I think. I actually debated putting him into the C category, but he's a good investment, but he has definitely dropped off the wagon. He isn't really as necessary as he once was, and he's a pain in the ass to unlock because you need Kree minions for that. So for that reason, he is going to be in the B. Night Nurse, oof. You know, I think she's gonna have to land in the trash tier. One time she was like way up here, you know, and she was one of the only usable healers, but now Nobu's also joining him. The C is gonna be for here. Now Punisher is actually a decent character. Yeah, I'm gonna leave him here at C, but he is good against villains, as we all know. He does a fair bit of damage, but he just like all the defenders, he's kind of dropped off the wagon. Now Pyro, I love Pyro, but he is going to be into the B category for me. He's not quite an A character. He's not a top 10 character in the game, so I don't think he needs to be in the A or S, but he is solid. You know, I think that you definitely need him alongside. I'll put him here next to Juggernaut. Oh, well, whatever. And yeah, great character for the Brotherhood. Definitely a staple. Pyro, Juggernaut, and Magneto sort of make up that core of the Brotherhood. Okoye is going to go into D, kind of trashy for the Wakandans. I'll put her next to M'Baku here. Black Bolt is definitely an S tier character. Black Bolt is one of the strong or strongest of the legendaries. Solid blaster, tons of damage. What can I say? Must have. Build up the Asgardians to unlock them. I know as of this video, Black Bolt is going to be later on today, so whenever this video does end up coming out. But yeah, solid character. Hope everyone gets him. Heimdall. Oh. I think Heimdall's, for me, I'll put him in the C. You know, he's okay, better with synergy. Definitely not as good as the other Asgardian Sif. I'll put her in the B. I think she's a good investment. I think she's a good tank. Obviously better with the Asgardians, though. Heimdall is definitely going to be on the lower end for the Asgardians. Yo-Yo is definitely hitting that A tier. Great investment character. Unfortunately, her shards are really hard to get. So, you know, she is a really solid kit. Her passive, you know, does offense down on everyone. Good character, but hard to farm. Approximate Midnight, all of the Black Order are going to be hitting in the A largely, with the exception of Call of Obsidian. There. Psylocke. I'd probably put her in the B. Maybe the C, but I think definitely in the P. If Cyclops is in B, I think Psylocke deserves to be in B. Okay, we have Punisher twice for some reason. And Pyro twice. Quake, I'm gonna put her in the C. She's better with the Inhumans. I'll put her next over there. I see something happening to her in the future. I feel like they're gonna split the Inhumans between the Inhuman Royal Family and the S.H.I.E.L.D. team because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that, but we'll have to wait and see about that. The Ravagers, oh god. They're all hitting in the in the bottom. Sabretooth, I'll put her next to Mystique. I think she has some value there, or he has some value there, rather. Red Skull, also hitting in the C tier category for me. Like, I think he is a good character, but he's largely a war defense character, and for that reason he's there. He's not super OP anymore, and there's going to be some new characters that are coming out to defeat him. Baron Zemo is going to be coming out, who I think is going to have a better standalone kit than Red Skull, so for that reason, Red Skull is landing in the C for me. Rescue, for the same reason as Ironheart and all that, and the Power Armor, they're going to be in the C. She doesn't really see much use outside of that game mode. Rhino, also in the C category. Do I have any other Sinister Six members out yet? No, I don't. Rocket, great character. At one time, he would have been an A tier character, but he's going to land solidly in the B right now. Now I'm shifting this around a bit here. Rocket and Groot make a really good, powerful combo. I think they're definitely good and worth investing in if you need them for Guardians, but they've definitely dropped off the wagon a little bit. Part of that old BKT team, I think they were quite strong, but yeah, he's not quite as good as he used to be. Ronan, I think he's going to be in this D category as well. They're good. Oh, wait, no. I'll put Ronan in the C category. I'll be a bit nicer on there. He's a good character, but and the Krees are okay, but, you know, not amazing anymore. Sabretooth, why is he there again? Okay, Scarlet Witch. Where am I going to put Scarlet Witch? I think she's going to be in the C category here. Where do I have any other supernatural characters? Yeah, they're somewhere. I'm getting lost in my own list here. Okay, over here. Next to Elsa. Good character, largely in the supernatural team. Good controller. You know, if you need someone for the Mystic campaign, Scarlet Witch is good for that. Scientist Supreme, she's going to land in the A tier category. She's had a huge buff since the AIM rework last year, and a lot of people still use her in raids, Dark Dimension, and largely that's it. But she is, considering where she started from, I think she deserves to be on that list. Passively revives people as well. Quite strong character. Shield Assault is going to be in the Minions category. Although the Shield characters are better, you know, maybe I'm going to put them up here with the other AIM characters. Shield Trooper is going to be a bit lower on the list. I don't think Shield Trooper's as good. Here are the other Shield Trooper. Operative's also going to go down here, and Shield Security. Actually, you know what, is going to go in C. I think Shield Security is a better standalone character. And actually, I previously used, a lot of people used to use Shield Security in Dark Dimension 2 back in the day. Shocker is going to be in the... you're probably in the C category here with Rhino. Shuri is going to be up here in that A category. Now, I have a lot of A category characters. Maybe some of these deserve to be in the S, but we'll find out when we're at the end. Maybe I'll change this around a bit. Solid support character, using her in Dark Dimension and raids. Largely those game modes, war a little bit with the symbiotes. But yeah, solid character, solid legendary. Good character. Oh, oh, god. Just jumped around. Star-Lord is going to be in... I think he's going to sit next to Nick Fury. I think Star-Lord and Nick Fury were, you know, old legendary characters. They, at one point, would have been up here in the A category, but I think they've dropped off the wagon. I don't think they're as necessary to farm for as they once were, so that's why they're going to be here. Star-Lord is a good character, and I put him a little bit ahead of Nick Fury, but in general, I think he's a B category. B category character. Strife. I think he's gonna be upgraded. At one time, I would have put him in the C category, but I think with the Marauder adjustment, I think he deserves to be up here. His kit has been changed a little bit, and he is slightly better than he was before. Spider-Man, he's gonna be a C category character. At one time, he also would have been sort of in the A category, but you know, he has dropped off on the wagon a bit, and there isn't really a good place to put him at this time, unfortunately. Symbiote Spider-Man, S tier, for sure, hands down. One of the best characters in the game, easily a top 5 character, I think. And his kit is all around amazing. You know, the first non-legendary character I made, 7775. His skills are great. Crazy damage, usefulness in Raise and Dark Dimension is through the roof. Solid character. Toad, going to be landing in wherever Blob is here, C next to him, because you kind of need them together, so unfortunately that's where they land. Thanos is going to be in the A category. You know, if I could just rate and power Thanos, he might be in the S category, but unfortunately you do need Ebony Maw in order to get Thanos, so that's why he lands there in the A tier. Now, Thing, where's my other Fantastic Four? Probably here. I think Human Torch is a bit more value than the others, so they're going to land here. Thor, I'm gonna put Thor in the B category. He deserves that, I think, after the passive changes that he had to him during the Asgardian patch. Solid character, and the passive adjustment makes him worthy of that. Green Goblin gonna sit with the rest of them wherever they are here now in the C category, I think, somewhere here. Ultimates, he's gonna be in the D. Just no real strong use for him at this time. I don't think he's necessary at all to level up. Ultron, he's going to be solidly in the A category. I think he's still worth bringing up, and he still has a lot of value, but, you know, he's not an S tier character that he might be a year ago when Dark Dimension 2 was released. Venom, also going to be in the A category. Mostly, he's going to sit next to Venom, next to Carnage here. The symbiotes are a very strong trio, so I think he deserves to be on there too, especially after the adjustments. Miles, we're getting to the bottom of the list now soon. I'm going to put him next to the rest of the Hero Brawlers / Young Avengers. Vulture, also going to sit next to the Sinister Six. There. War Machine, also going to sit next to the Power Armor, but he is still quite strong as a character. Vision, I'm going to put him in the B category. At one time, he would have been an A category character for me. Solid character, and I believe he made my top 10 free-to-play character list for free-to-play farmables. Great character, can be used in a lot of tech teams, but it's kind of fallen off a little bit. Wasp. Definitely hitting this E category. Where did I put Ant-Man? Okay, so I'll just put them together there. Winter Soldier, also hitting the D category for the moment, next to Crossbones, but I see this changing at least up to C, probably by next patch. Yondu, also... poor Yondu. I think he's going to hit the D category for me at this time. I even have T4s in him, which is sad, you know, but he was a solid character back in the day. So unfortunately, with the lack of synergy, he is hitting in the D category, although I wish I could put him in C. Ebony Maw, another character hitting the S tier category. Great legendary character, the last legendary to come by. Should be coming back around pretty soon, within a week or two. And you need him to get Empowered Thanos. That's why he is above Thanos in this ranking. So without him, you can't have Empowered Thanos. Solid character. People are using him in Dark Dimension. People are using him in raids, in Arena. You know, he ticks all of those boxes. So that's why he is here. Taskmaster, I think I'm going to put him in the A. I think he's a solid investment. He is a great character outside of a war. He has a pretty nice kit, so for that, I'm going to put him in the A. And we're getting to the bottom of the list here. Unfortunately, the X-Force characters, I think for me, kind of missed their mark. But I think out of all of them, I do believe that I think that X-23 deserves to be a little bit higher. I believe she has a nice kit. She does synergize a little bit with symbiotes for the reason why she gets speed bar from that. I've heard of people using her, but she's not farmable right now. I think when she becomes farmable, this might be a different story. So she might be a little bit better than that. Who we got left? Emma Frost. Now, okay, people might hate me for this. I'm going to put her next to Sinister in the A tier category. I know she is a really strong character. She has a very strong kit, but I don't think I'm willing to put her in the S tier at this time. She's not available free to play. I admit I don't have her, but I have actually looked into her a lot. I've talked to a lot of people who have Emma Frost, and I know she is very strong. She has a lot of uses. She is still going to be hitting the A tier category for me for today. You know, when I reevaluate this time next month, you know, maybe we'll be able to move her up to the S tier category because I've changed my mind on that. But for now, you know, I don't believe she is better or as good as these characters above me. So she's going to stay there. Now, Squirrel Girl. I think she's a decent character. I'm gonna put her in the B category. I have a personal. I like Squirrel Girl. I hope that when a 5th Young Avenger comes out, that that they're better as a team. But I think she has a decent kit on her own, so she's gonna hit for me in the B. I think she's a good investment, but not a must-have. Good for like city, city lanes, things like that for the raids, but she's not a must-have. Anyway, so this is what I came up with. So this is largely anything B and above, I believe, are characters worthy of investing in, because they have their own standalone value, or they have really good value with their team, above all else. Now, these are characters, I don't know how many characters these are, maybe about like a third of the current Marvel Strike Force roster is B or above, and those are characters that I think that you should work towards gearing up at some point or another. The A tier categories, these are great investment characters that you won't regret leveling or gearing up at all. And the S tier categories, hands down, if you have access to them, definitely level them, especially Hela. I think Hela is, because some of these are legendary, most of these are legendaries. Symbiote Spider-Man, if you miss the milestone, unfortunately, you won't be able to unlock him this time around until he maybe gets hopefully added to the milestone orbs, but otherwise he'll be unavailable for the moment. So, yeah, these are all outstanding characters in the S tier ranking and above. And I think that if you have any of these, haven't leveled them up, then I definitely recommend you doing that. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments below. This is what I think. Of course, it's my opinion, and I hope that you guys enjoyed following along here and watching me do this, because it was quite interesting for me to do as well. Now, I want to apologize for my long video, as this is the first time I'm doing my very own tier list. I don't think it'll be this long in the future, and we'll probably just be moving characters around up or down, or placing new characters that come out in later patches. I appreciate anyone who's stuck with it this long, and like I said, feel free to disagree with me and have a conversation in the comments below if you think I misplaced someone or believe some of the characters in the lower categories have more value than where I put them. I was probably being a bit conservative when it comes to putting people in the S tier category, but don't mistake me, all of the characters in the A category are very solid characters and worth investment too. I just think that the characters in the S is above the rest and really deserve it. Anyways, I will have this table available in the description below as well, in case people want to access it and look at it themselves on their very own time. Or if you have any questions regarding it, feel free to reach out to me via Discord or the comment section, of course. And with that, we have come to the end of the video, and hope you all enjoyed it. And if you did, please smash that like button down below, and please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and of course, until next time, guys, stay safe. Boylon signing out.